What's up, everybody? Today I'm going to be filming the first part of my EcoFlow Wave 2 review. I've been wanting a Wave since I first found out about it over a year ago. Now, one of my properties, I have a bedroom with no outlet and no central air. So this would work perfectly. And I thought, man, now I have heat in there, but shoot, I'll just get me I got to figure out the AC. Well, guess what? The Wave 2 was announced and they said that it would do AC and heat. Ha! So I reached out to EcoFlow like 8 months ago. Totally ignored me. And then they reached out to me like a month ago and was like, hey, we see your channel. Would you be interested? I'm like, heck yes. Now, most people, when they review the EcoFlow stuff, they're doing the batteries. And I know you guys have asked me about the backup batteries. We will get to that. However, I have an immediate need for this Wave 2. And I wanted to show you guys that you can use it for a lot more than camping, hopefully. We're going to see, because they're pretty big rooms. So we'll see how it does. Unfortunately, like today, the temperature outside for the first time in months is nice. So the ambient temperature will not let us really use this because it's like 72 in the room, 70. So I'm going to have to wait till it warms up. Hopefully it warms up a little bit more next week, but I think it'll be in the 80s, but my sunroom should be hot. So we'll put it in there and we'll see how well it cools it. And then shoot, in a few weeks, we'll be able to use some heat and we'll see how that works. But I want to just show you what the box looks like. And for those of you that might be interested in this, don't throw that away. Like you're gonna pull this out and think, okay, it's just foam, throw it away. No. You're gonna need that potentially. All right, potentially for your window vent board. All right, and then over here you have your vents. All right, these are actually quite stiff and tough, and I don't want to actually remove it with one hand because it feels substantial. And these are also go to your vents, and then you have something else here. Jeez, what is all this? It's quite a bit of stuff in here. I was just trying to do all this live. There's something in there. There's a clamp maybe, and then here's something else. And the instructions will help us out with that. Now, I'm also going to use some solar panels, okay? Because in my sunroom, it's perfect. It's in the corner of the house, and I could prop the solar panels outside. I got to open them up to see what kind they sent me. They might be the portable ones or they might be the rigid ones. We'll see, but I could put them outside or even in the window, and we'll test each one out, how it'll do outside, how it'll do in the window. And hopefully we could just have some permanent cooling and heating in there without the need to really have to charge this up on the inside of the house. We'll do an initial charge and then we'll hook it up to these. And I don't spend a lot of time out there, so hopefully that is sufficient. So that's basically the unboxing. I'm going to charge this up and check back in with you guys after we put it in the sunroom. All right, so right on time, the AC to the master bedroom went out. So we have the Wave 2 set up, and the way I did, I have like crank out windows, so I had to buy this little thingamabob for the ducts and the vents, so that worked out good. And yeah, so we're going to see. So yeah, we're going to see if it can cool off this room. And this is kind of around the corner. So we look at the thermostat. As you can see, it's 77 in here. It was 78. And then I also got a manual one that also is saying it's 77. And I'm going to leave this on the mantle across the room on the other side of the room. So it's all the way over there. We're going to see if it'll cool off. I am going to close the door though to make it more fair. But the room is fairly large, as you can see. So we'll see what it does. Alright, so it's doing this. It's making this terrible sound. What it is side panel is vibrating because if I push on it, it will stop. And it's not that back thing back there that has that hose coming out of it, because there's a little attachment piece you put on there. I've already I removed that and it still made the noise. So I'm just gonna see if it's this thing that I have it bounced on, because it's basically smaller than it. Okay, so I like turned the fan down, and when I did that, that rattling went away. There's no way anybody's sleeping through that though. I mean, if it's on eco mode, you wouldn't hear it. But let's turn it back up. Back on max. And it's not the fan that's causing it, it's the compressor. It's once that compressor kicks on, it causes that sound. I also noticed that if you like were to slip something back there, just put even your nail to separate this thing from the body, it'll completely stop. So, you know, for the money you spend, I don't think that you should need to stick a piece of paper or a little piece of cardboard in there to buffer that. So there is that thing there. I can hear this all the way on the other side of the house. Like, this is unbearable. This is ridiculous. So like I was saying, if I reach back around here and I do this, or do that, it completely goes away. Just stuck my nail in between there. Watch what happens when I let go. Yeah. And well, let's check. I mean, it got cooler in here. It feels cooler. It's just 75. But that also could be because it's just cooler outside, maybe. 75. The humidity dropped. Let's see. Well, this also says 75 too now. And it's 8:29. Problem solved. I stuck a piece of a losing $700 million lottery ticket back there. So that ticket was at least good for something. Alright, so another thing I want to do is, darn, I don't know if I can, because I'm trying to do two things at once on the same phone. I'm trying to put it on, take it off automatic drain. You can actually hear the water because it's starting to fill up. But I want to take it off automatic drain, tell it to spit it out of the tube and see if it does it instantly or if it leaks. Alright, so yeah, so as soon as I was able to switch it from automatic drain and it was on automatically on drain free, I switched it to external drain. This thing, when it made a beep noise, and then this whole thing just dropped and you could see the water actually going through it. That's the water line right there, and you can see it draining through the tube, and I can even hear it splashing out on the ground. So that's pretty cool that it's smart. As soon as you switch it, it knows to just spit it out, and it knows that, I hope it knows that a hose is attached. And the way you attach those, you just pop it in there. It's not like, it doesn't require a lot of force. It kind of locks in a little bit, and yeah, it's drip free. Good morning, everyone. It is about 7:25 the next day. I had this on all night long. At about 10 o'clock, I put it on eco mode just to see if it could maintain a cool temperature. It was 75, or I think it was like 73 last night at 10 something. It was between 73 and 75. I think it was 75 though, because since my AC has gone out, I have not been able to keep the room less than 73 degrees. I did not have the fan on. I turned the fan off. I had the fan on for like an hour to see if it helped, because it's kind of directed at the fan, if the fan will help recirculate the air, which I didn't really see much of a difference. So this morning, let's take a look at what the temperature is in the room. 70. And we can see right there the highest temperature it was in here was 77, and the lowest is what it is now, 70. And at first I was thinking, well, even this thermostat over here around this corner, 71 and 726. So yeah, so it even made it around this corner. I've never been able to get this to say anything less than 73. And that is obviously attributed to this. Now, initially, I was thinking, well, maybe it's because I have to open up the window. I had to seal the whole window up with this thing I got from Amazon. But maybe it's because the window is open and it's cool as I don't know what outside. Well, here we go. I have a laser right here. So we're going to measure a couple things. The window temperature, the glass temperature, the temperature of the little cloth, and then we're going to measure the temperature of the air coming out of the device. So see, the window is 66.9. See this is 66.9, 67.1. So it's actually basically the same, 67.1, and this is 66.7. So this is actually warmer than the actual glass. So no, that's not it. That actually is keeping it warmer in here. And now let's look at the temperature of the air coming out on eco mode, even though I do think that the compressor is off. I think it's just the fan on right now, because I don't hear the compressor run. I actually heard it turn off. So yeah, it's just blowing air now. It's just a fan. Let me turn it up so we could look at the air that was coming out. It was like 49 degrees earlier. I want you to see that. So let's see how I do it here. It says 67. Set it all the way down. And hopefully that takes it out of eco mode. Okay, I just heard the compressor kick on, and you can see the temperature dropping. And you can hear it buzzing, getting a little louder. 52 degrees, 51. Still dropping. 50. I was dropping some more. All right, 49, 48, 48.6. So it gets pretty cold. Now, I wasn't really expecting it to do too much in this room. Keep in mind that this room is 14 by 22. So 14 feet by 22 in this regular box area. That does not include the hallway or, you know, the bathroom or the mud room over there. And all this is open. There's no doors, so it has to fill in all this space. I have 6 vents in this bedroom, and this is the equivalent of maybe 2 of them, because, you know, it's a little unit, but it's basically 1 vent. And so I didn't expect it to do much. So for it to finally get it down to 70, and if I left it on high max all night long, I'm quite sure it would have been a lot cooler in here. I would say at least 68 degrees in here. So that's pretty good. If this was inside of a tent or some small thing like an RV or something, then man, this thing would cool down real fast. It'll heat up real fast. I'm positive. But what I am going to do, I'm going to reach out to them about that noise and send them a video of that and see what they do, so we can see how the customer service is. But yeah, and I'll report back on that. Oh, another thing I want to show you guys is that this does have UPS. So we're not talking about the shipping company. We're talking about, I don't know exactly, I forgot exactly what it stands for. I want to say uninterrupted power supply. That makes sense. So basically, it has the battery connected. If I unplug it, it'll keep going. So watch this. Ha! Still going. We heard a little but then it picked it right back up like nothing happened, and now it's running off of the battery. Just like that. So I did want to show you guys that, because we see a lot of the generators do that, but of course, but you wouldn't expect this to do that as well, but it does. Now, after unplugging it, I didn't put it in eco mode. I just turned the fan down. We can see right here, it has the display. It'll show you, and you've seen this from other videos, how many hours the battery will run, 4.8 hours. If I were to put it on eco mode, it'll go all the way up to 6. I've done that before. It's saying that the ambient temperature is 67 degrees or 68. Mainly, it's probably saying that because I'm in front of it and kind of blocking it. Also, we see that it's been draining properly. That's empty. you can periodically, if you listen really closely, you can hear it like spit out the water. You've had a lot of people, I have seen anyway, and we see it still going strong, no leaks or anything like that. I have seen people say that, oh, after I moved it, you know, it spilled out water, but in the manual, in the quick start guide, and even on this thing, it'll tell you the device may produce water while it's running. Please drain the device before moving it in case it overflows. So like, it's like big as day. It keeps telling you a million times that this thing is going to have residual water in it. Be careful. Tilt it back, turn it off, tilt it back, drain it out, and then move it. Like, it tells you to do that. So I don't really feel like that is a negative. The hoses connect securely. There's no leakage of air, anything around it. If I get my little laser here, we can look at the different temperatures of the hoses. That right there is pulling air in, 64.2. I hate that stuff is not being in focus. And then this one is the exhaust, and it's pretty warm at 93.6 degrees, 93.4, 93.9, 94. Sound like I'm saying radio stations. And so, yeah, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to put this in the room that I wanted to put it in originally. I had to wait for another window thing to, you know, seal it all off. But it's not an open up window. It's a regular raised up window. And it's a smaller room. It's actually a complete square. And it is the sunroom. And that was the original room I wanted to try this in. There's one other room that's even smaller than that, a little gym, but that's at my other property. And that one doesn't even have outlets. So I wanted to set up the solar and everything there. But we can actually do that with the sunroom and see how that works. It's a lot smaller than this room. And the gym at the other property is even smaller than that. So hopefully all that stuff comes today and I'll be able to set it up then and show you. All right, everybody. We are in the sunroom now. I have everything set up. Now, as you can see, it's hot. It's a warm day today. It's 88 degrees in here. And this room is a lot smaller than the master bedroom. This sunroom is about 11.5 by 14.5. So this I think this should do just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and activate it. I'm going to do everything from the phone so I can make sure everything is done right. But I did create a little vent so it's ventilated properly. And I'm going to drain it into the bucket so that way we can also see how much water it accumulates over a certain amount of time. All right, we're back out here. You can see the fan is off. But I will say it's a lot cooler in here. It's been 2 hours. It's now 82 degrees in here. One thing I noticed as I've been watching this thing is that, well, it's probably not going to show. Let's see. All right, so I have it still set to 68 degrees. The ambient temperature in here is between 80, 81 right now. But what I notice is the air that's coming out of the vent, it likes to be 20 degrees lower than the ambient temperature. As the ambient temperature drops, it will also drop, because a few days ago I noticed it went as low as it went down to the 40s, but that was because the ambient temperature was also low. Now let's look back at this. The battery says we have 46 minutes left on the charge, and like I said, it's been going for a little over, slightly over 2 hours now. So I'm going to go ahead and just plug this up. And I'm going to just let this run to see if it can get down to 65 degrees. Well, let's just leave it at 68. That's 68 degrees. It's still currently 88 degrees outside. Well, actually it's 90 degrees outside. So it's doing its job. It's just doing its job. What can you say, slowly? I don't know. It's been 2 hours. I think maybe a regular window unit probably would have cooled it faster, but it definitely is cooling. We'll see how it does in the morning. All right, you guys. Currently it's 73 in here because the morning, pretty nice weather. But I just wanted to let you guys know this was not really able to keep up midday with this room. I had it on, and the temperature just kind of steadily kept climbing. Now, it did make it bearable in here, but it wasn't able to really keep up. And it's probably for a number of reasons. The windows, obviously, it lets way more heat in to the room. I had moved that because it was over here, and I came in and it said yesterday, and it said it was 111 degrees. Obviously, it wasn't, but the sun was beaming in through that window, and yes, it was causing it to be extra hot in here, 111 degrees. And yeah, this just can't keep up with that. Plus, this room is 165 square feet, and this is rated at 100 square feet. So that's likely why I was struggling. It was 60-something% more than what it was rated for handling. So I do have another room to try this in. However, this unit, obviously, due to the rattling, I reached out to them. It's defective. They're going to send me another unit. So I don't really want to unfairly test it, but it did actually, even with the rattling, it did keep the bedroom cooler. And again, it didn't have all the windows, even though that room was way, way bigger than this one. So that's it for now. I'm going to update you guys and let you know how it performs in the future when I get the replacement. If you are interested in the Wave 2, I don't recommend getting the add-on battery. I didn't know that that wasn't a LiFePO battery. It's actually a lithium-ion battery. I actually recommend buying this along with like a Delta 2. That would be ideal. And the Delta 2 right now, especially if you buy, I mean, shoot, they just having all types of sales. The Delta 2 is actually cheaper than this. So you would have an extra system that has extra ports, extra plugs, has more capacity, and also LiFePO batteries for less money. That would be the bundle I go with. And they actually have a bundle like that on their website, and it should be on sale, I believe, this week. Also, if you leave a comment below, you'll be entered into a raffle. We're going to be giving away some EcoFlow waterproof picnic blankets and some EcoFlow. They actually make little flashlights that are pretty cool too. So go ahead, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the video, and I'll see you guys next time.